Small Producers Development and Transporters Association, SPRODETA, is a local non-government organization which was established in 2009 and registered in 2011. The organization promotes food and economic independence among rural households through implementation of different tailor-made projects that are aimed at meeting basic needs of rural communities. One of such projects is a 2-year promotion of Right to Food project funded by Dan Churched, which has been running from January 2019 to December 2020. Through the project, SPRODETA is working with communities in Mzimba and Rumphi districts to promote justice among women and youth by involving them in decision-making processes that lead to food and income security. The targeted communities are called rights holders, as they have the right to access food and good governance, which are pillars of the project.
We are implementing a project in 2 districts, Mzimba and Rumphi, called Right to Food and the Active Citizenship. This project emanated from the challenges which were observed in the TAs where we are implementing. So in Mzimba, we are in TA Maurao and Muzikuora. The major challenges, we are looking at women not participating in developmental work, women and youth, and at the same time, inadequate access. Women were not able to access market for their produce. And the other thing, we're looking at issues of gender-based violence affecting women and even the youth.
One of the project's remarkable achievement is access to land by women rights holders. For decades, women in the impact areas did not live independently, as culturally they were not allowed to access land. Divorced women and widows used to live with their children without owning land on which they could cultivate their own crops for food. This also meant that the female-headed households found it absolutely difficult to make money to meet their basic needs through farming. Instead, they used to cultivate in the fields of their fathers, brothers or uncles, and they could hardly have a say on their yields. In recognition that the right to food, especially among women, could not be achieved with the system, SPRODETA engaged chiefs and the community at large to grant women land. As a result of this initiative, over 140 women have secured land in the project impact areas. The beneficiary women have already started benefiting from the given land during the 2019-2020 farming season.
Lazima bangu bakufitinyeka shomene kuti ndibizikika shomene latukulukanga yayi kweni kuza kwa SPRODETA sono ataona kuti ni wanangu akulu shomene ubana ubazimai
kuza mu kwa SPRODETA na makatsambizikira bakayoya kuti mwanakazi manyi una bana vandatengwe kwenu vakwenda kuti vavenge na maro nyengo zinyake nhengo zikusuzga sono para wawera kuntengwa kura wazasangenge maro ndimoti kuvagavira ko vana kweni vana tikuvasambizaso kuti pake na mti kumpirani maro vapape kumpirani maro kuti imwe mukashitenge dala mbuvya kumpara kuyi kuntengwa kwinuko kuti muti ine na maro kwitu ise kuno para vifuka vambura kwenerera tizakumwezganiso kuti tutanike kuntengwa.
Culturally, women were not supposed to participate in village tribunals, platforms that were preserved for only men. It is at village tribunals where conflicts, including those over land, were resolved at local level. Most cases that involved men and women at tribunals were judged in favor of men, since women were not represented in the panel of judges. The women's voice was not held, and justice was the preserve of privileged men. The project, therefore, lobbied with traditional leaders who are custodians of tradition and culture to reverse the norm and grant women the space in the tribunals, and the chiefs were responsive enough.
We have looked at women being involved in village tribunals so that they also participate when they are doing different things in terms of maybe looking at the challenges which are there in the villages.
So far, about 1,200 women have been included in over 130 village tribunals since the project started.
Kumanyuma kose ukhaliro witu panyimuwiro witu wa ushingoni tikuzomerezekanga chikala cha kuzomerezekeka cha kuti mzimayi wakhale pa mpando. Olo mzimayi wave mweruzi wa nkhani kuti kairuzike nkhani pa mphara kweni kwiza kwa SPRODETA kulipangisa kuti vakayamba kutisambizika tikaona nge chinthu chakuti chakusuzika kweni chinthu chakuti chiri kutipa phindu likulu chomene kuti vazimayi vave mphala. Masuzwa vakasangana nawo vazimayi mlandu wa vana muzimayi na dada kumphala kulataunjikana kukava kwa kuzomerezekeka kuti muzimayi mnyake wayekosa chasoni kuti muzimayi wakanga kunyimana nkhani ni muzimayi umoza pera so kuti wayo wakumasuka pa madoda wose ndundundundu wakanga wakumangika shomene muzimayi kumangika kufyenyeka shomene kunyekezekeka shomene kweni kumwa uno kunyekezekeka kukumala chifukwa veruzgi tilivika mumazimayi ndi abazimayi mwangu waona wose abangu apa ni bazimayi atilivika kuti mumphara nge mphara yaine chigwaze muli bazimayi 8 ndi kuti madoda yalimo 6.
Ngeni mangolongosera pafumu kale kukaveji kuti pake mwanakazi wakakhale pa mphara kukawanga kuti ndizika shomeni chifukwa wakatengesa wanakazi ndiseveni mwiza so kuti tikhale pa madoda mbwe wakati sikanga kuti pashindapusa chakuti ise tikwenerai kuti tikhale para nanga uli tive na zifundo ise tawanakazi kweni ise vakatikankhiranga kuti ali shomeni kuti imwe mukuyenerera kuti mungakhala pa mphara yayi mbwenu ise tikawanga vakumangika shomeni.
The inclusion of women in the tribunals is a milestone in the promotion of justice among women. Through these tribunals, over 50 women who faced resistance to acquire land have accessed justice. Gertrude Saka, who was divorced and returned to her home village, is one of the female rights holders, has her own land where she is cultivating after her case was handled by a village tribunal comprising both men and women under Chief Chigwaze Longwe.
Hada dataika mbwana ngosamba kunsuzwa ine pa munda ayo kulima munda usha zakanipoka majembe kukumba kuntema na mbavi arongosikani kuti nemundika kuti ndiri mbani na mndina wela kunthengo wa masuzwa kuza kwa pano na bana foro ava so nilelenge mbuni watu kalime kwako kunthengo kukatengwa bekuona ndivutese kumunda damu wano tikomengi mbwena kunyamuka na utangu na kwamba kwa mphara wala wadandaulira ambala kashiputikisika na kuwashema arongosi wala na kuzafika nao nguni mphara kula mbwenu wakuti imwe uyu naso ni mwana watungwa vichi ngwa mnyumba kani mwengi ati mumuli wanakazi ndimwe uyu ni mwana anu mba mkukhala mbuni mba kuti neni ngaputika ivo yayi pambaso pala inandiso na mbala mumazaza ya mbala wala wakanyamuka mpaka pamunda na kuti setinga kuopapo shafika uyu naso wana ufuru pa mwauno pano kuza SPRODETA na kuti akumunda kura wambana ukadumura munda ura ina kanipasa kama bande foro iwo naosi mabande foro.
Women and youth were able to access to reproductive resources such as land, which is a milestone. You know, according to culture in Mzimba, women do not own land, but through this project, some chiefs they have really accepted, and as we are talking, more than 100 women have been able to access land.
In the wake of climate change, coupled with unpredictable rainfall patterns, many households have failed to attain food security due to effects of climate variations. This is the very reason SPRODETA has worked tirelessly to support rights holders to build resilience for food security through promotion of climate-smart agriculture practices. The practices include small-scale irrigation, vertical gardens, aerial beds, micro-investment kits, and bucket drip irrigation. At Mzokoto in Rumphi district, SPRODETA has supported rights holders with expertise and irrigation equipment to enable them easily cultivate 11.7 hectares of land they own.
Ulimi wa nthilira tikautemwesesekanga nakuti tikalimanga kweni sulwikanga ya maji maji yakuti titili mbewu zithu yakasuzikanga tikachita kutora makheni kuluta mu dambo lithu tikugwisa ntchito lunyina tikatekanga maji mu lunyina nakuthirira mbewu zithu iwo vikatipinduliranga viuyayi chifukwa tikaluzanga kankhongono kuthirira mbewu zakuti zikapokera maji mwakukwanira yayi so phindu nalo tikasangikanga sura kukwanira yayi irrigation iyi ikupokera uvwiri ukulu kufumira ku bungwe la SPRODETA ikamba kutipasa masambiro na mu isi tingalimira mbewu zithu mu madimba ndipo apo masambiro ikati yamalizika masambiro vakiza na project ya wakatijimira dirawo ile vakarumikiza na kutipasa matanki na masolar system ayo ya kuvwira kuti kokera maji kufuma kudirawo kuluta matanki para maji yafuma matanki yakwiza kuno kumunda na kuti tikugwirisira ntchito pa minda yithu ngati pa Mzokoto irrigation scheme tikupindula nayo chomene para tagulisika mbewu zithu zitalima ndalama zikuzisanga vanyake vakugwirisika ntchito vakulipirira ma school fees vana vawo vanyake vagula mafetereza vanyake vaguliraso vinthu vakukhumbikira pa nyumba
ta VDC titamva kuti kukuti SPRODETA tinasonkhanisa azimayi ambiri kuti azimayi akhale mmagulu muja timasonkhanaso kandalama kaja timakapanga ngati village bank ndesi tivutikaso iyayi milandu yambiri sitikulandira ku VDC kwathu iyayi chifukwa choti azimayi asintha mwa azimayi ngati mula azibamboso kumabanja kwa azimayi kwasinthaso chifukwa choti tikutenga zogulisa muno tindi green pepper tindi onion tindi tomato tindi chimanga tindi kholowa timazitenga zinthu izi lukagulisa mavuto ambiri ku VDC panoko akuchepa chifukwa choti tinakhazikisa kuti mzimayi aliyese ayenera kuti azipezeka kolima kunthirirawo
mpaka viranga njara panyengo ya juzi para suzika banga panadi chifukwa chakuti vanandi vakizangu zakadandaura ngafumu vakuti aimpa kuva vafumu mkwena kuti mutithandizengi na tiriye makora so ni vitoli nkhuini muli makora suzika banga panadi kwamba nasu ku mabanja kukhala kuwemi yayi akachifukwa cha njara masuzu garakizanga kwa inda fumini kwini kuyana na nyangu yosono nkuona kuti yakuchepa.
Apart from small-scale irrigation, the Rights to Food project has also promoted vertical gardens where application of simple farming technologies has transformed livelihoods of many households.
Wemu wake utikusanga kwa kutikare para tapika njunga mbwenu mashero njunga mbwenu tikaranga kaguru limoza so pasono pano mbwenu namwendi kuza SPRODETA ikutisambizga mbwe mpangwe tinayo mpangwe ene iyo takagulisa mbwenu tasanga ko denderi nyake takukwanisika pa maguru sikisi pene papo apo usanga ko sondarama ndivyo tikuona abo bana sono aba kuranga makora akakuraso matupe awemi pa nutrition ya makora akamana
kwa ina pindurapo chomeni chifukwa po programu ikambanga kuno na mtikambira upanda mpango ina sanganga pindu chomeni kwa ulimi wose na kwanisikanga wa mtandara wa mtumba wa drip kit so pindu ina sanganga na gulisikanga hapo ndalama ya pa nyumba mcheri wanisuziganga cha wakunisuzika kali cha na sopo chigayo nusuzika cha afumani kwa dalila cha sonji kwa cha ulimi wa mpango kwenisu ndama inyake mbweni nkagulako tumasefulia topa nyumba kwizira kumpango ene hii.
The project also encourages women and youth to have vegetables around their homes. They're planting vertical gardens, which we call it planting veggies in sacks. So we say vertical garden. Yeah, so they are benefiting a lot because they have veggies around their homes, and also they can sell to find something like soap, salt, and the like at their homes.
SPRODETA also recognizes that the right to food can only be achieved if the structural challenges which hinder the rights holders are removed. It is against this background that SPRODETA has built the capacity of rights holders on how to engage duty bearers on various development gaps existing in the communities. Gibbon Malwimba, an Agriculture Extension Development Officer AEDO at Mzimba Extension Planning Area EPA in Rumphi District, explains how he engaged the rights holders at Sasasa.
You know, extension is all about most of the time we coordinate for the sake of we have the same arena where we are playing our games. I'm talking of the agriculture activities. The agriculture activities where we are advocating to the farmers the same. We have the same farmers. We as the government and our friends as the NGO, at the end of the day we are targeting the same farmers. So I thank this SPRODETA as an NGO. It has come at the right time in this place. You know, this time government we are running short of resources. We cannot manage to do everything which the community is lacking. So the coming of these NGOs, they are really helping the government, complementing the government to achieve its goal. That's food security at household level, then at the society, again at national level.
Apart from the AEDO, the councillor for the area, Hare Munyenyembe, also interfaced with the rights holders at Sasasa, one of the hard-to-reach areas in the district. For many years, communities in the area have been complaining about lack of good road network, access to potable water, and other developments. They did not know their rights to demand such developments from duty bearers until the Right to Food project was implemented in the area. Through the project, the right holders have engaged their councillor to demand the road and the water development.
In our project, we are trying to promote right to food and community development. Under this project, we have an output where we want the community members to engage with duty bearers on different developmental activities. Yes, so the community members at Sasasa asked me as a field officer so that I can meet the councillor so that they can have a face-to-face interface meeting so that they can complain to him different developmental issues that the community members are facing at Sasasa.
Akatisambizga kuti tina ufuru wa kumananga na kansala vitu olwa dangiriritu ngati MP na malutisambizira akalongosa kuti tikwene atifufuzenge ka vitukuko na kwenderanga so mbwe isinadi kuno na makasambizira tikachemesa kansala vitu mbwe tikadandaula vitukuko vyose vakuno imasuzu katisangana nayo mwapadera wakapasa bloku kuti bloku ilo nipereke nge marata varupereka apnado kwamba varupereka ap marata 100 kweni bloku yonda marata 150 so vakuti vamalizgenge tina chigomezo to vamalizgenge.
As a community, the councillor speaks on how he was approached and his response to their demands.
Usually, citizens, they stay idle, they stay quiet. But with this SPRODETA, they are like empowering them. Say, you have got a right to engage duty bearers. So they really engaged me. And when they engaged me, they mentioned a lot of things about roads, you know, the roads we were moving on. it's not a good road. So they engaged me on roads, they engaged me on water problems, but specifically they were hammering on the need to roof their school block. They built it on their own as a community, but they were asking for roofing materials. And on that roofing materials, what I did on the first phase was to give them about 100 iron sheets, which costed about 800 or 900,000 kwacha. Yeah, we are working on these other demands, and the specifically we are looking on this load, and we are just waiting from the office of the DC, because there is a certain component which will be employing people for 6 months. They will be paying on like RODF. They'll be paying people for 6 months renovating roads.
Ise panyengo ya kwamba tikamanyanga yai ngaumo tingarumikizana na varongozi ngati avakutimira panja watu kwavotera ngati makansa kumaso ma MP. Kweni SPRODETA wakati vafika mbweni tikaona kuti vinthu vikutiendera kumakora chifukwa kuti tikavangana mwayi kuvanga iwomba mkhala pakati tichemera kansarara kuti akachezanga navo. So akasakatisambizikanga ngati kuitira mu ndalama za boma zigwirira ntchito.
Through establishment of cooperatives, SPRODETA has also built the capacity of rights holders to work together and find better markets for their produce. 3 cooperatives have so far been established in the area of Kayoro, Chimaji, and Kasambangholi. At Kayoro Organic Poultry Cooperative in Mzimba district, Michael Ngwira managed to rear up to 90 chickens in 9 months from January to November 2020. Besides using some of them for relish, Ngwira boasts of various accomplishments after selling some of them.
Chakurya cha nyama kumanyuma huku nyama kuti tikarianga kabiri cha mwapulika mripoti kuti kurya nkuku izitarya ise tavenecho na varendo avazanga pano pa nyumba zinandichomene zakwana kuti ni ndrama 90,000 chifukwa zikaba zili 30 kuyamba January mpaka Oktoba. So nyama paza kula waka mbwenu pata kumba tikoma waka tikuli tikubrasha chifukwa tibeta teka 2 umoyo wane niona kuti kwa sono pano wavanga ngokazikika mufundo ya kuti munjire mnyumba umu mungaona kuti kweni chifukwa cha SPRODETA.
SPRODETA ikakuti ndaze ngavaji nkuku pano pa Khomorani kweni nayamba kuveta chifukwa cha SPRODETA. Ndipo kwa kuyana na sonu pano yani pindiria na zengapu nyumba iyo sondi mkuiwana pano mba masasa. Ndipo cha chivili kunkani ya shakurya ngadende ndarama nigurisapo nkuku kuli masumbi nguriapo pano pa Khomorani.
At Kasambangholi in the same district, the project has also mobilized the rights holders to access better markets through Kasambangholi Cooperative Society Limited. The women are selling farm produce under a well-protected shelter constructed by SPRODETA. Members of the cooperative come from a background of selling their farm produce along the M1 road, where their lives were at risk of being hit by cruising vehicles. Besides protecting them from the scorching sun, the shelter has also promoted preservation of farm produce on sale, thereby reducing losses. Under the Right to Food project, the shelter is now electrified with solar power.
ise wemu wake utaosanga kuzizamu cooperative malingana malonda mtukunjikira pamoja mbwetu kuona kuti phindu tikusangaso makola shomeni chifukwa chakuti malonda itu palatalima mbwetu kuavikanga pamoja pala mbwetu kukagutisanga patagulisa malonda itu ala mbwenderama tikuisanga ngapo so pata sanga nda mazira tikunjikanga pamoja pataona kuti sonda maizi zinandiko mbwenu tikukumana tose pamoja mbwetu kugawana mbwe maprofiti tikuwasangana
achinyamata anzanga chonde ngati kuti sukulu yakulepherani mwina munalemba mayeso zakukanikani mmene zinandikanikira ineyo ndi bwino kumayamba business kumapanga ku business kumagulisa ko malonda kupeza ko ndalama ndikapeza ndalama anako athoja ndimatha kuwathandiza bwinobwino pali ena ndi ang'ono akuphuza primary ndimatha nthawi zina kumagulira ma exercise book azikalembamo zolembera nthawi zina ndimapitaso kunsika kwagulira kumwina zovala.
The organization is also implementing a goat value chain project at Madisi in Dowa district. Over 100 rights holders, including 79 females and 35 youth, received goats after being trained on how to raise them. The cooperative chairperson, Chemston Chunga, speaks on the training and the goats they have received, the sentiments shared by Joyce Mwale and Davis Sinkanago.
Kola limene linabwino, ubwino wake ona kuti wani matenda imapewetsa kumatenda ifanana kuti ndowe nkodzo zonse zimagwa pasi. Tunga linkhani achitetezo afisi sagwira chifukwa zoti zili mwamba. Mapindu alipo ambiri koma ena mwayiona kuti anthu ena amarumizana ku sukulu chifukwa cha mbuzi akagulitsa ukalipira fizi ugula chakudya ugula fereleza udzithandizaso mavuto ena pakhomo kuchipatala mwina munthu adwala.
Mbuzi zimene zizi zotipatsa manyowa amene watu mathuku atenga kumathira munda ndi tumakolola zochuluka kusiyana ndi mbuyo komanso timalima timadimba makomomo timatenga manyowa mwe kumathirako ori kumbalia ndiyo zamasamba siri mavura siri makagula sokunsika
ine ndili nditiwana tina timatimagala ku school mene mbuzi zanga zinalipo 8 tikugulitsapo sukulu ikavutana monga ngati za mayeso notha kupereka kuzana ndi ndalama za mbuzi ziti mbuzi zimenezozo ndiye nuona nguri ndiwo ubwino wa mbuzi zimenezi kwa ine sinikanatha kwanekha koma chifukwa cha bungwe limeneli kwatipatsa poyambira penipeni ndithu.
On top of benefiting from better prices negotiated through selling their goats as a group, the rights holders are also selling processed goat meat at an abattoir which SPRODETA, with funding from Dan Church Aid, constructed in the area. SPRODETA has also organized training on how to manage cooperatives, and the rights holders are fully registered as a cooperative by the Malawi government through the Ministry of Trade.
We are targeting 60% women and 40% youth and men. Since we started implementing this project here in Dowa district, we have managed to train the right holders, the whole goat value chain component from the collar up to the marketing. One of our objectives to empower them economically, we also train them about the marketing. Yeah, so we found it good that it's better they should be selling their goats at a group. So on that we have managed to form a cooperative on which all the members they are cooperative, they are members of the cooperative.
Those are the major things which we have done in these areas, and we have seen that at least the lives of people are changing. We really thank our donor, Dan Church Aid, for funding this initiative. We've been working as a team with their financial support, and also technically they have really helped us. And also our colleagues from the RDPs, rural development, RDPs in Rumphi and Mzimba, they have been very helpful for their technical support.